For 5 minutes or less, Dr. Ellis.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for being here. Mr. Vigneault, you were here with us last week. I just had some more questions around the talent or recruitment programs. You know, how can you reassure Canadians that there are no further PRC-based scientists who are part of talent or recruitment programs working at government labs in Canada?
So, Mr. Chair, I think the one of the element I've talked about is the work of this committee, the work that we've been doing with public safety and with ISED, and specifically with CSIS in terms of, you know, making sure we talk about these issues. It is very important because it's only through the knowledge of ourselves, but also of other people, that we'll be able to address the concerns expressed. By definition, these approaches are covert. They're trying to obfuscate their approach. The more we talk about it, the more the PRC is adapting its methods. I talked about the fact that this is a cat and mouse game. So the better we are, the better they are changing and they're obfuscating their approach. So the best way for it to answer the question, Mr. Chair, will be to say that we can never rest on our laurels on this. I think, you know, it's a good thing that we're able collectively to identify these two. My concern as director of CSIS is that it's a relentless effort by the part of the PRC. They are using all methods to be able to acquire technology, know-how, and data. And from that point of view, I'm not sure that anyone can provide a level of 100% clarity on this. But I think what from CISA's point of view in terms of transparency is that we are absolutely focused on the issue of talent programs. And that's why we've been talking and writing and publicizing and engaging directly with those organizations who are susceptible to be infiltrated by the talent programs.
And so, therefore, is it fair to say you still have some ongoing investigations at the current time?
Mr. Chair, unfortunately, I will not be able to speak about our ongoing investigations. Thank you.
Is it fair to say also, Mr. Vigneault, through you, Chair, that CSIS provides security background, but the president of PHAC has the opportunity to provide a security clearance? Is there a way to circumvent that program?
So, Mr. Chair, the government policy is quite clear that it's the deputy head of any organization who has the authority to grant and revoke a clearance based on the security advice that the deputy head receives. I had mentioned last week that there is that the Treasury Board Secretariat who is in charge of that policy is modernizing it as we speak. And Mr. Nagvi, to your question earlier, when you talk about, you know, the advice, I will not be providing advice to anyone, but I just said there would be an opportunity here to the work of this committee to speak to how the issue of government clearances are issued is being reviewed as we speak. So I think there's an opportunity. Yeah,
I guess, though, through you, Chair, is it possible at the current time that when these scientists were working at the National Microbiology Lab that someone could have circumvented that process? So the executive director, for instance, could say you can work at this lab without the completed work by CSIS?
If Mr. Chair, if I understand the question, if someone was to allow people to do work that requires a clearance without that person having a clearance, that would be a serious violation of the policy. Okay. And so I would say that this is something that, you know, would be, of course, of a real concern.
Perhaps through you, Chair, to you, Minister, why was a private security firm engaged to undertake the original investigation, Presidia, and not the RCMP in this particular case?
Again, I was not the public safety minister when these decisions were made, and I don't understand the precise delineation as to what the authorities would be of the public health agency. My understanding is that they had initially, and again, the director spoke to me about this last week, Dr. Ellis. I don't want to avoid the question, and the director will correct me if I'm wrong. Public health agency of its own motion retained a private firm to do an initial review, an administrative review, not a police investigation, obviously. And that administrative review then led them to make the decisions that are properly within their purview to make. But CSIS was obviously working with other partners, and the RCMP are, I think, as has been confirmed, investigating this now in terms of a potential criminal context.
Thank you,
For
Dr.
you,
Ellis.
Mr.
Your time is up.